Have you ever sat down to just check something and suddenly realized 3 hours have flown by? Or maybe you constantly underestimate how long a simple task, like getting ready in the morning, actually takes. If this feels familiar, you're not lazy, careless, or disorganized. What you may be experiencing is called time blindness, a very real struggle for many neurodivergent people, especially those with ADHD and autism. Time blindness isn't just about being bad with time. It's a neurological difference in how the brain perceives, estimates, and relates to time itself. Let's dive into what it is, why it happens, and, most importantly, what you can do to make life a little smoother when your brain doesn't naturally see time the way others do. What is time blindness? Time blindness is the inability to accurately sense the passage of time. For neurodivergent people, hours can slip by unnoticed, or 5 minutes can feel like an eternity. Unlike people who naturally build internal time maps, neurodivergent individuals may not instinctively track the difference between now, soon, and later. It's not about carelessness. It's about brain wiring. Just as someone who is colorblind doesn't perceive red and green the same way others do, people with time blindness don't perceive time consistently. Why does it happen? Researchers believe time blindness is closely linked to executive dysfunction, the set of mental skills that involve planning, organization, self-control, and flexible thinking. Here's why neurodivergent brains may struggle with time. Dopamine regulation. ADHD brains, for example, often have irregular dopamine pathways. Since dopamine helps regulate motivation and reward, tasks that don't provide immediate stimulation can make time feel unbearably slow or vanish in a hyper-focused blur. Working memory differences. Many neurodivergent people struggle to hold multiple steps or chunks of information in their working memory. This makes it harder to gauge how long something will take or to connect future time with present action. Hyperfocus versus task switching. While hyperfocus can make time disappear completely, switching between tasks often causes delays that pile up, making time seem slippery and unpredictable. Everyday struggles of time. Blindness. If you live with time blindness, these scenarios might sound painfully familiar. Chronic lateness. No matter how early you start, you underestimate how long it takes to get ready or travel. Deadline disasters. Assignments or projects are either started last minute or forgotten until they're overdue. Lost in the zone. You sit down to play a game or scroll social media, and suddenly it's 2 a.m. The just one more thing trap. You try to fit in one more chore before leaving the house, and end up late again. What makes this so frustrating is that it's not about a lack of effort. Neurodivergent individuals often try harder than anyone else to be punctual, reliable, or consistent, but their brain simply doesn't keep time in the same way. The emotional toll. Time blindness isn't just about logistics. It impacts mental health and self-esteem. Many neurodivergent people are unfairly labeled as lazy, irresponsible, or unreliable. This can lead to shame and guilt for constantly being late or missing deadlines. Burnout from overcompensating, like setting alarms hours early or micromanaging every moment. Strained relationships when friends, family, or co-workers misinterpret time blindness as lack of respect. Understanding that time blindness is neurological, not a moral failing, is the first step toward breaking this cycle. Practical strategies to manage time. Blindness. While you can't cure time blindness, there are tools and strategies to work with your brain instead of against it. Here are some of the most effective. Externalize time. Use visual timers, like hourglasses or apps with countdown clocks. Seeing time pass helps the brain process it more concretely. Chunk tasks into micro steps. Break projects into smaller, measurable actions. Instead of write essay, aim for write intro paragraph in 15 minutes. Overestimate always whatever time you think something will take. Add at least 50%. If you think getting ready takes 20 minutes, plan for 30. Anchor time to events. Instead of abstract, be ready by 8 p.m., connect it to something concrete. I'll start putting on shoes when this TV episode ends. Alarms, reminders, and cues. Use multiple alarms for transitions. One to start getting ready, one to leave, one as a buffer. Pair alarms with visual cues like sticky notes at the door. Leverage technology. Calendar apps with alerts, smart speakers that announce time, and task apps with checklists can all help bridge the gap between brain and clock. Build buffer time. If you always run late, plan to leave 15-20 minutes earlier than necessary. Treat ready time as the time you must be out the door. Practice self-compassion. Time blindness is neurological, not a flaw. Remind yourself, my brain works differently and that's okay. I'm learning systems that support me. Stories from the neurodivergent community. Many people with ADHD or autism describe time as something they don't feel. One person might say, I sit down to do something simple and suddenly it's dark outside. It feels like I've lost hours of my life. Another might share, I'm never late on purpose, but no matter how hard I try, I just can't seem to beat the clock. Hearing others' experiences reminds us that time blindness isn't a personal failure, it's a shared neurodivergent reality. Why talking about time blindness matters. Raising awareness about time blindness does two important things: reduces stigma. When others understand that lateness or time struggles aren't deliberate, they respond with empathy instead of frustration. Encourages solutions. Instead of blaming individuals, workplaces, schools, and families, can provide supportive tools like flexible deadlines, reminders, and visual schedules. Time blindness can feel like living in a world where everyone else has a clock built into their brain, and yours just doesn't. But with the right tools, strategies, and self-compassion, you can create systems that make time more visible and manageable. So here's the question for you. Do you struggle with time blindness? What's the one hack or tool that helps you the most, or one you want to try? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your strategies, and your tips might just help someone else who's battling the same invisible challenge.